151, Computer Applications. We've been working a lot with variables now, but we've always had these variables be equal to something or other that we have typed in. That has been from the computer to us. It has been an output. A print statement is an output. We have not yet done an input. So, input is literally input. And much like how it is, you start the input, you end the input. So there's the start of it, there's the end of it. Whatever is inside this, in theory, would be our input. And I'll just go and print and say something along the lines of like, you typed, and I'll put X there just to prove my point. So now when I play, you'll notice nothing's happening yet because I need to actually type in my input. So I don't know, my QWERTY, and now I'll hit enter, and now it says you typed QWERTY. That QWERTY was something I just typed in. That was my input. My input got saved into my variable so that I could use it for later use. So you typed, and then it remembered what I typed. Now, here's the problem, though. You see something like this, and it's just blinking. What does this mean? Does this mean I'm typing in a password? Does this mean I'm typing in an email? What am I doing? I don't know, I'm just typing gibberish now. Enter. Oh, you typed that. So, when it comes to any sort of inputs, give people instructions. And that's why you have the start point here, the end point here. You can give people instructions. So I'll say, type your name here, press enter to confirm. And now, here we go. Type your name here, press enter to confirm. Oh, my name is David. You typed David. See, much easier to understand where you tell people instructions. So whenever you're doing any type of input, make sure to give people instructions. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to say type a number, okay? And type a number. I don't know, I'll type 9. You typed 9. Now, you would think right there that I've just typed a 9, right? I've typed a number. Well, here's the problem, and I'll prove this by simply doing this. I'll simply say print, hello, what happened there? Print, x plus 1. Okay? So in theory, I'll get 9 plus 1 equals 10. So I'll type a 9 again. Ooh, we have an error. Cannot concatenate string and integer on line 4. So right now it's saying on line 4, with the x plus 1, I'm trying to concatenate a string and an integer. Well, we know that the 1 is an integer because it's a number. Ergo, x must be a string. Ooh. Well, let's test that out. Let's just do x plus x. Let's test to make sure that it's a string. Okay. 74. Enter. Yup, it's a string, 74, 74. So, here's the thing. An input will always default to a string. Why? Well, because even though I'm typing numbers, I could have typed text, I could have typed symbols, I could have typed spaces. It's a string. In order to fix this, I either need to do something like this and say int, x plus, int x, do my conversions. I could do something like that, so now 74, so boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Make sure you're on the right spot where you're clicking before you do that, David. I don't know, 65. 65 plus 65 equals 130. That works. Or, if I want to just undo that part, I want to leave those two x's the same, I could just do a int right around my entire input. And then, I could do, I don't know, 7. and hit enter, and it'll give me 14. So you can, in fact, convert it. Because remember, there's the start of my integer, there's the end of my integer. Ergo, everything inside of it, including the word input, is an integer. Now, of course, if I did something like that, though, and then I type a number and I say ONE for 1, it's not going to work like that because you can't convert the letters O, N, and E into an integer. But, and we can do this sort of fun stuff like that. We can, switch this into a Boolean, if we really want to, make it a bool. Run that. So now if I have, a 7, so if I have, I don't know, complete utter gibberish, it'll be a 2 because complete utter gibberish in Boolean still exists, ergo it's 1. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. We can convert anything back and forth we want. Same with all our data types. We can convert inputs back and forth to whatever it is we want. So, many different ways around it. But just note that if you're going to type an integer, make sure you change it to an integer somehow. You're going to need to convert it. But inputs are simply things that we type in. And those are just the general normal things that you could get in trouble with an integer involving an input. So in the next videos, in the next 2 videos, what we're going to do is, we've been working with integers and strings throughout most of these past videos. Let's go and do some fun little things with them. Let's do some randomness. Let's do some capitalization, lowercase. Let's go and change stuff about them. So hopefully at this point we know input and output. I almost said importing and exporting, but you know what I mean. So now let's just have some fun with the data types that we've been learning about.